Romania under Nicolae Ceaușescu, empty state coffers, fertile ground for a money-making scheme. German communities had been living in Romania for 800 years. In the 1960s, 350,000 were still in the communist country. During the Cold War, Romania sold 250,000 ethnic Germans back to West Germany. There was an agreement between the governments. It is the most profound example of human trade during the Cold War. A documentary film, Trading Germans, co-produced by Germany and Romania, reveals all. It all started at the end of the 1960s when the Romanian economy collapsed under the communist regime and freedom was in short supply. Under the chancellorships of Willy Brandt and Helmut Schmidt, Germany offered massive financial remuneration to Romania in return for the Romanian Germans who wanted to leave the country. For years, the deal was unknown, controlled by the secret police, the Securitate.
A couple of years ago, there was a publication, a big volume, published by historians, researchers from the council that studies the Securitate archives. And they published like 1,000 pages book with the files of these, the Romanian files of these negotiations.
Millions upon millions of German marks were paid to Romania to allow Germans to leave for the Federal Republic of Germany. Hans-Günther Husch was Germany's secret negotiator. He travelled to Romania with cash stuffed in his attaché case. It was for the purchase of freedom. I don't know of any precedent in history. I believe this was an unparalleled act, both in its implications and dimensions.
The process of opening these archives, it's also a painful one, I guess, and it probably, touches not only political issues, but also personal lives and people that are in the files, maybe, touched by this. So you may call it past or recent past, but in fact it's present because it's something that we live with.
Karl Hahn left Romania at the end of the 70s, and he said that with prices between 2,000 and 10,000 marks, they were sold on the cheap. Later, the Romanian government engaged in double deals. Germany paid up, but those that wanted to leave also had to hand over cash to the Romanian government. Erika Lazar left in 1983. The price was some 47,000 marks. She says there was a massive desire to leave.
What makes the story universal in Europe today, in 2014, is this identity story. You're German, you're Romanian in the same time. Your family has been in Transylvania since centuries. Where do you belong? And what happens if one day, because of the historical context and the historical hardships, you have to go?
It was not easy. Buses of us arriving in Germany. We came to the land of our ancestors. We definitely had that feeling. We have always been Germans, but it wasn't easy to adapt because things were so different here. There was no dictator.
Schwer war es halt die Anpassung, weil ja doch es ganz anders war wie in einer Diktatur.
I think there's communities all over Europe that are somehow related to this kind of story of mass migration, and this is the story of I think the last mass migration in Europe that we know of.
Former German Foreign Minister Hans-Dietrich Genscher summed up why people were prepared to give up everything to leave their home. The desire to live in freedom was far stronger.